So far, Biden is winning more states than Bernie Sanders. You are a Bernie fan, I suspect. Are you still optimistic about the final outcome?
Yeah, I'm still optimistic. I think we all kind of expected Biden would pick up the southern states more. And also, even though Biden's supposedly winning more states, they called North Carolina, despite the fact there's very little reporting, 1 or 2%, and the gap there right now is like 5 or 2%. So, and right now, the really big states that Bernie, I think, is very much projected to win is California, huge, about 440 delegates there. And Texas right now, he's still a little bit ahead. I think it's going to be tight, but I think Bernie will win Texas. I was there myself, and I think he's going to win that. Also, Massachusetts, good number of delegates there. It seems like Bernie will likely win that.
Briefly, according to you, why Bernie Sanders is a better candidate than Biden?
I think Bernie Sanders is a better candidate than Biden because, what he stands for is basically, what the working class, what the vast majority of Americans, the 99%, as he says, really wants, which is, access to healthcare, believing healthcare is a human right, believing housing is a human right, and believing we need to save our climate and provide people jobs. And also Bernie, unlike Biden, aside from the policies, has an army of tens of thousands of volunteers to do it. I've been in 3 states myself, and there's been plenty of others. And I don't think Biden can beat Trump. I think Bernie can, because there's tens of thousands of people like me who are, if Bernie wins a nomination, I can tell you 13 of us, we're going to be in every single one of those 13 swing states. Every single one.
Wonderful. Last question. What do you do for a living?
I'm currently a graduate student at NYU.
Thank you.
I think a lot of people on the left and in DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America, are really waiting for California and Texas. Texas just happened, so we're pretty optimistic about what's going to happen. California, we won't know for a few weeks.
And why, according to you, Bernie Sanders is the best candidate?
He's the only candidate that doesn't take money from billionaires. He's the only candidate that represents the interests of the multiracial, multi-gender, multi-ethnic working class. He's going to eliminate student debt and get single-payer universal health care. He cares about the material needs of the vast majority of Americans, and that's why I think he's the best candidate.
Aren't you afraid that Americans can be afraid of the label socialist?
I think he made it popular again. I think he started calling himself a democratic socialist in 2016, and then the membership of DSA shot up by more than double. And I think more and more people are realizing that massively public and popular policies like Medicare for All are actually the standard for what's becoming mainstream and what's becoming popular.
Okay, can I ask you what do you do for a living?
Oh, I'm studying to become a teacher, a math teacher.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, first of all, why, according to you, Bernie Sanders is the best Democratic candidate?
Well, I think that Bernie Sanders is the best candidate right now because he speaks to the needs of the working class of the United States. I think that his policies of Medicare for all, of college for all, of a Green New Deal are really what speak to people's material needs, and he's painting a vision for how we can accomplish that. He says, I can't wave a magic wand and give us these things, but I can help build the movement of millions of Americans getting involved in the political process where we can demand these things. And in 2020, this is the only vision for change, and especially to beat Trump, and to beat the conditions which gave rise to Trump in the first place. We need to fundamentally transform American politics and American economics. And so the ground is set. Bernie polls so favorably amongst working class voters, amongst young voters, against irregular voters, people who are usually disillusioned by the Democratic Party and by the political process. They're getting involved because they can sense that they're a part of something bigger.
Yeah, but still, a few days ago on the New York Times, Thomas Friedman said, I don't know who's the right candidate, I know who is not, Bernie Sanders. According to you, How comes that there is so much distrust vis-a-vis of Sanders?
Well, I think that my friend Thomas Friedman has fundamentally different interests than do the majority of people in the United States. I think the political establishment, whether it's in the media or in the Democratic Party, are terrified because they have been the legitimate counter to the right wing in this country. But we're something new. We're showing them that you can't fight Trumpism, conservatism, neo-fascism with milquetoast liberalism. That doesn't offer anyone anything. That simply runs on platitudes of civility politics. We're showing them that you need to build a multiracial working class coalition that actually can energize people to come out. So I think the Thomas Friedmans of the world are going to continue to be naysayers, but we're just going to prove them wrong.
Very last question about the characterization of Bernie Sanders as a radical,
Yeah.
too radical to win.
He's certainly not too radical to win. I would say all of the polling shows, in fact, that he can not only win the Democratic primary, but he polls most favorably when running head-to-head against Donald Trump. So to say that somehow his platform is too radical to win is just baloney. So all the polling shows that in fact he can win. Furthermore, his policies are very favorable. I'm not going to say that his policies aren't radical because I think they are trying to build a political revolution. We are trying to fundamentally transform the way that things have been done. But radical doesn't equate not popular. These are incredibly popular platforms. They're not fringe, they're not extremist, but hell, they might be a little radical. We're trying to change society so that we don't have a Donald Trump in the future, so that people's needs are met and that people feel compelled to have ownership over their lives. And that is where we can sort of look at the future of American politics after this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
What do you do for a living?
I'm a teacher. I'm a high school special education teacher.
Wonderful.